Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. If you're in Europe, the Middle East, Dubai, Singapore, Japan, Korea, North Korea, South Korea. If you're cheating and listening from North Korea, welcome. I had to decide whether I was going to do this morning or go paint, and I just couldn't bring myself to paint. I've been looking at Twitter, been looking at X. Ryan Selkis, awesome. Love this cat. Ryan, if you're listening, if you're ever available, would love to have you. This is going to be a Saturday rant by Gary. It's November the 2nd, 2024. Man, the stuff I'm reading on X and in the news, people seem to be, I sure hope everyone can hear me. I'll just launch into this stuff. Lori Del Ringo, Mickey Gutierrez, Andre P. Thank you for being here. You guys are the first people here. If you guys could repost the room, send it out to your buds. Love to have a bunch of Democrats, anyone voting for Kamala or anyone other than Donald Trump. Would love to have you on. I mean, really, honestly, I would love to have you on. Just understand what the viewpoint is. Anyone in crypto, by the way, that's voting for Kamala or falsely supporting her, and then it's going to hit the other button when they go into the voting booth. Feel free, please show up. And Crypto Cowboy, thank you for being here. Dang Coswellis, dude, that you might consider shortening that name there, Dangy. Indigenous one. Oh, my son, the indigenous one. Nevada here voting for Trump. Go get it. I've never understood why people Nevadians didn't vote for Trump. Never, ever have understood that. If somebody can explain that to me, let me know. It just, I don't know, seems kind of weird to me. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off here, I think. That will help. I'm going to try and do something a little different on this show because as anybody that's been watching this know, I'm really learning how to do this on my own. I mean, not on my own, but pretty much on my own. The only way I learn anything is pretty much on my own, in the water, learning how to swim. Typically under pressure too, by the way. It really, really helps to have some pressure. I like the pressure. Seems like it's the only way. I noticed my second daughter, my first daughter's like planned out, ready to go all the time. And oh, by the way, America and peace, baby, peace. My oldest daughter, you give her a task and she's planning it out. My youngest daughter, more like me, I'll do it, at the very last minute. Anyway, what I was saying was I'm learning how to do this stuff right here, and I'm going to just kind of slow down. I find myself putting myself under a lot of pressure to keep this thing really, really speeded up and going. And having watched a few other shows, I notice how often the guy's not even doing anything or talking. But I do have a few things I want to talk about today. And if you're a regulator, you're probably not going to want to be here. You'll probably be recording me, and I'll hear this in a courtroom one day, attempted to be used against me. But we're going to talk about the FTC's little mess up this week. I'll have to bring that up, and that's the part I need to you guys need to relax and chill out with me. Me fumbling around with this stuff. If I have to plan an hour in advance to do this, these sessions are going to be like most other people's sessions, which are short and they're controlled. There's so much to talk about here that's interconnected that unless we tie all the pieces, I'm not sure that people are really going to get a full understanding of what's going on. in the world, or you might be at a particular. Let's think of this world today as a baseball field and or a football field. Any complex game. Some would argue baseball is not complex, but a game. And the perspective of a pitcher, the guy that throws the baseball. How do you like that? That is my super fastball. Yeah. So Greg Gandalf, before you start, which is 100% right, why don't you do your research, son? Okay. I would strongly suggest that you do your research. See, this kind of bullshit from people just smashing stuff up in front of 1,000 people or something, trying to elicit. This is the kind of bullshit that I don't want it regulated. I want him to be able to, stir up whatever he wants, whatever his agenda is, and you guys get to decide whether you watch him or listen to him. I'm, for one, calling him total bullshit, and this is what we need to do. We need to stop expecting Kamala Harris or Bob or Billy or anyone else in authority to hold a position of principles and push back on bullshit. Okay. GG, you're bullshit, dude. No facts, just a bunch of hot air. What's it called? Gaslighting. It's uncool, dude. We are getting ready to move through the age of authenticity. I believe that authenticity, honesty, being able to go back for long periods of time and look at someone's record, whatever that record may be, but you're not going to be able to just in the future. Well, I think that the entire group of Hollywood is learning that anything you did in the last 30 years, if it was on an electronic device, near an electronic device, even if you made everybody get naked, you probably have some evidence sitting on electronic devices. So this is going to be so cool. I think authenticity, as I look at Bitcoin being this unique thing, I've been really struggling with, hey, what else is truly, truly finite? Because how's my audio, by the way, guys? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, too loud, too low, whatever. I can't hear it. Hey, Gary, question for you. Anyway, give me a note on the sound. I'll get to the questions here in a second. And I love the questions. We'll go through every one of them if you guys post them. The thing that Bitcoin did for me, and all of this sounds very disconnected, but I promise you it will come together. It made me question many other things. And one of those things was, hey, what else is truly not replicatable, unique, can't copy it, can't mutate it, can't, increase the production of it. And I realized I had never, even though I've been trading commodities my whole life, I've been searching for this particular, the holy grail of commodities. Every other commodity that I've ever played with had, see, I think this is the piece I haven't been very good at explaining why I got so excited about Bitcoin. Was I studied marketing and economics. And my first Economics 101, the teacher, keep in mind, I was very nervous in school. Like freshman, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I had no idea what I'm doing. And I was undisciplined. Teacher walks up there. I'll never forget the guy. I can't remember his name, but I'll never forget his message. He said, when he drew, one of these L's. When supply exceeds demand, prices fall. And when demand exceeds supply, prices go up. I literally thought to myself, I'm literally watching this guy draw on a big board. Okay. Supply, demand. And he basically said, okay, supply, demand, and then here's price, right? So as supply is up, prices come down. And when demand is up, I don't know why I'm not drawing this. Basically, it does this, right? So price of crude oil at $400. Guess what? Supply explodes, okay? But demand's going to start tapering off because the price is too high. There is a point where you just start turning things off. Okay, now what the problem with Bitcoin doesn't experience is that at $400, notice what happened. All this supply right here that was working, all that came on. See, all of this supply came on. Okay, and in Bitcoin's case, at $400,000, there isn't any more supply that's going to come on. It's literally calculated out forever. In fact, our supply is doing this. Okay, the supply is actually going down. So nonetheless, the teacher said when supply exceeds demand, prices will fall, and when demand exceeds supply, prices will go up. I literally thought to myself that I should leave the schoolroom right then and there, drop out of college. I had every absolute principle I needed to go in business. I was 20. I really did not need much more. Funny how big of an impact that one comment in school made. I would go on to every business, not almost all of them, but every business that I would go into and stay. Like early years, I tried some jobs, it just didn't work because I needed to make a living. But every job I went into, literally the core premise of what I was building was based on a utility construct, that is an analog company who has not had micro, transparent, drill down capabilities into how much production's everywhere. If it's not really, really clear, my thesis is there's probably too much of it, or you can grow too much of it. Bitcoin's the only thing I've ever seen that has this level of transparency. So this is the other lesson. Okay, so we have a supply and demand lesson, and I'm going to get to the government piece of this. You think it's not connected, but it is. We have a man. It's hard to do this because I have so many things going on. Government. So when supply and demand don't speak to each other really well. For instance, I think I look at crude oil right now. It's priced at $68, $72, something like that. It's really funky right now where the price is. I think supply and demand, I think you could put a lot of demand in the system and the price would not move that much. But I think if you put, 1.7 to 2 million barrels have been pulled off the market voluntarily, and the price is still struggling. See, that's supply and demand. Now, what I would like to see, what a real market does, is there's no games, there's no cartels. The oil market, through the insertion of the U.S. government, built OPEC, and they cartelled OPEC together, which now is no longer working. Just goes to show you, none of these cartels work very long because supply and demand is superior, always superior. Supply and demand, if it's allowed to work, is superior to all other technicals. I don't care what they are, man. If the fundamentals are supply and demand are very difficult and very inelastic, prices at some point will explode. Okay, guys, there's 900 people in the room. Okay, what I'm going to do, because I believe in free markets. Okay, that's all I believe in. I believe in free markets. I believe in free information. I believe that you should be able to get all the information that you want. If you want to look at something crazy, go get it. Okay, if people want to talk crap like this guy earlier, go get it. and then you'll have to verify and validate it. Like if we just start asking ourselves the question of what is authentic here, because this is going to be really my rant for Saturday. Okay. And I'd like some other people in here. I'd like 10,000 people in this freaking room. Okay. Cause you guys, I'm hearing people and I don't like, these are my friends. I'm hearing Bitcoin traders and stock flow analysis guys and political analysts and this guy and that guy all saying, hey, you know, Bitcoin's price is going to go up no matter who wins. Well, that may be the case. It will most certainly explode under Donald Trump. But let me tell you something. I have a lot of Bitcoin. I have a large investment in this industry now, at this point. I mean, a really large one. And I can honestly say that I am terrified of a Bitcoin at $800,000 living in a Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. I don't know who's running the campaign. I know for sure if someone's scratching a Kamala Harris ticket, she is not running anything. You were voting for someone else. She is not the president of the United States, and she will not be running anything. And if you have any thought that she could possibly run anything, it's staggering because you have no data to support that she could, has, or will be capable of running anything ever other than her. I mean, I look. So we clearly don't have, I'm not getting into attacking, okay? I'm getting into facts. Facts are, we don't even know who our president is today. And November, in 3 days, this election has swung. It appears that, you know, the Kamala and team have this in the bag. They think they do. I mean, some of the stuff I've heard is crazy. So I'm here to rant, and I'm here to let's look at some facts of things that have been going on, which are, you know, I think they're worrisome. And this is where you got to be patient with me now. Let's see. When was this thing done? I had it up earlier, and that's too late. If you guys would, while I'm doing this, if you would put some questions in the post that are interesting to you about this subject, okay? What you think the government's doing, you know, what, like this is my problem. I don't want to have 1,000 Bitcoin and live in an environment where I can't be free. I can't speak. I've rarely said anything. I think rarely, maybe never, that's inflammatory. I attempt to keep a nice, where the fuck is this thing? A very, I don't know, calm demeanor in the spaces and allow many people to express themselves. Not that I have an obligation, by the way, to do any of that. This is my room, man. If I want to come on here and talk about, look, they let Howard Stern talk about a lot of weird stuff. Okay. And now we're saying, well, Gary can't talk about, Ryan Selkis gets fucking grief from his board for telling the truth. We're in the battle of our life. Okay. In the battle of our life. And the government is absolutely smack dab in the middle of everything. I mean, I can't find much they are not sticking their teeth into. Oh shit! Right? I can't. I'm sorry. I cannot think of an area. Wasn't it separate government and church? And that means really government and business. We have Mark Zuckerberg admitting a month ago, 2 months ago, admitting in writing and on video that he was encouraged He said coerced, I believe. In fact, somebody has that. I'd love to see that link. He was such a little tough martial arts guy that CIA, FBI, NSA, even the FTC, which I can see the FTC in there. If the FTC was really interested in stopping all this supposed crime on internet trading, on all their different opt-in and opt-out negative option bullshit, they've spent at least $300 million in government and public money, when all they had to do was call Facebook. They didn't even have to call Facebook. We now know they were inside of Facebook. They should have said, hey, all these offers that Visa and MasterCard keep making billions of dollars on from fees and fines, you can't do them anymore. Right? Turn them off. Literally turn off at source. I told both Visa and MasterCard this 10 years ago, and they just looked at me like, I didn't hear that. I did not hear that. Like call Google, call Facebook, turn out offers off. You know, if it's legal to buy anything from a brand, it should be okay to buy anything from an unbranded company. If it all has the same bloody ingredients, who cares? Literally picking winners and losers. We have 200 plus MCC codes, merchant category codes, suggesting that all these products are different. And we're living in an internet age where it's a transaction goofball. It doesn't matter if it's a $10,000 transaction or a $1 transaction. In fact, get ready for the 50-cent transactions, because you guys aren't prepared for that. This whole legacy analog world, we're going to have microtransactions. It's going to I mean, the truth is the system is absolutely falling apart, and it's from philosophy to technology. The whole thing's just falling apart. We're living in a paradigm where we're moving so fast in the future that the past is actually, it's like a rubber band, man. And you can just feel like we're getting ready for a snap. I think that's what society's showing us. See, the supply and demand thing. Why is this so intractable? Like we're completely polarized. And if you think about supply and demand, I've never thought about it this way, but supply and demand see, I don't think humanity can do anything properly if they're being told untruths. And our core foundation and understanding of the world is completely wrong. I mean, what if America is not the great goody two shoes that we said we were? Like, what if we're not really like by a lot? What if there's bigger reasons that we haven't discovered who killed JFK? Like, why haven't we discovered it? Because, like, I don't really care if Lyndon B. Johnson's family is still alive. Like, they're going to be alive for a long time. I mean, in fact, I'm starting to notice the similarities between Lyndon B. Johnson and every other VP, including Kamala. And I hope not J.D. Vance, but I think you have to look through it through the lens of ever since JFK was around, Lyndon B. Johnson and JFK. The whole world, man. Now, it's when I was growing up, so maybe I'm just twisted in my understanding of history. Maybe this has been going on forever. It probably has, okay? Like, we're just changing the names. This probably goes back 10,000 years, and we're just so narcissistic and self-centered and unstudied that we just buy that, you know, this is the way it is. This does not need to be the way it is. It's crazy. Well, this is not sustainable, by the way. Not possibly. Okay, so where am I? I'm going to read something here. In fact, I'm going to present it. So if you guys want to read it also. Oversight committee. Here we go. Oh, whoa. Here we go. Now, this, you guys can see this, correct? You can see this. Let's see. Close that. There we go. Okay, yes, you can see it. Let's do that. I think that's better. Okay. Let me just go through this here, guys, and I think you'll find it very interesting. If I can actually move it. Shit. Oh, that's why I got to go to the other one. All right. Whack, whack. Oh, man. Okay. This was released October 31st. So this is fresh, baby. Oh, by the way, notice how little you know about this. You hadn't heard about it, no news on it, very muted. I think it's hilarious. This is big news, dude. Now, keep in mind, the SEC just had a similar problem 12 months ago. They were called capricious. And I mean, it was heinous. I'll pull that up. Okay, what I'm trying to show, we have a trend here in the U.S. government weaponizing their three-letter agencies. Reports detail how Chair Khan undermined the FTC's bipartisan independent mission through relentless violation of legal, procedural, historic, and management norms. House Committee on Oversight Accountability Chairman James Comer released a safe report today titled The Federal Trade Commission under Chair Lina Khan, Khan. You guys should all remember this name. The report, undo Biden-Harris White House influence and sweeping destructions of agency norms. The report finds that the Federal Trade Commission Chair Lina Khan has betrayed the commission's independent mission by abusing her authority, trampling on the due process rights of regulated parties, unending the rule of law, and violating ethics standards to advance the Biden administration's agenda by shifting the FTC's focus. By the way, Biden-Harris administration's agenda, by shifting the FTC's focus to implement leftist policies. The commission under Chair Khan disregards American consumer interests and U.S. antitrust policy. Absolutely. I concur 1,000%. Okay, last part. Disregards American consumer interests and U.S. antitrust policy. Rather than fulfill her obligations to ensure the FTC adheres to its independent role, our investigation reveals that Chairman Lina Khan abused her power and bent the knee to the Biden administration's White House. During her tenure, Chair Khan abandoned agency norms, disregarded ethical standards, subverted due process rights by colluding with foreign regulatory regimes. Now, this is very, very, very important. This is the U.S. government's administration, probably prior to this one and this one, who is engaging actively in attempting to make America look more like Europe and come under the European rule set, which is a complete bastardized set of programs and rules that strip away a tremendous amount of power. And there's massive conflict between their regs and our regs. And I think it's coming to a breaking point. And we're going to see through here how they wanted to adopt the European method because it's so much more socialist. During her tenure, Khan abandoned agency norms, disregarded ethical standards, subverted due process rights by colluding with foreign regulatory regimes, and willingly becoming a political tool for the Biden-Harris administration to carry out its ideological goals. It's now clear that Khan will stop at nothing to accomplish the radical left's desires. If this conduct is allowed to continue, it will further undermine America's confidence in the FTC's role in protecting American consumers and the U.S. market. Chairman Khan's term expired last month, and she would not be, and she should not be permitted to continue leading an independent agency. This is from James Comer. Chairman Republican, Kentucky. Sir, I respect you a tremendous amount. Appreciate what you're doing here. So I would love to have you come on and talk about this too. Anybody knows how to reach out to Chairman James Comer. Sam, if you see this, reach out to him. Let's see if we can get him on. Since June 2023, the Oversight Committee has conducted multiple transcribed interviews with top commission officials and requested documents and communications from the FTC to understand concerns related to the abuses of power, collusion with foreign officials, improper conduct in the merger review process, and recently FTC Chair Khan's participation in 2024 campaign events with the Democrat candidates. Below are findings from the report. Khan has trampled on principles of due process, respect for the rule of law, and ethics standards to achieve her ideologically fueled ends at the FTC. Chair Khan has forsaken commission independence to bipartisan to lead the Biden administration, White House left wing, the whole government campaign to reshape American antitrust and competition policy. Chairman Khan has swept aside principles, practices, and policies of merger review, ones that have served pro-consumer and pro-competitive interests for decades, to launch an intimidation campaign to chill mergers. Intimidation campaign. I mean, this is a report from a commission, okay? This is shocking. Okay, shocking. It's shocking that every major mainstream media hasn't said something about this. Okay, this isn't the first one. This is one of many. Khan's watch, the FTC has turned on American companies and turned to European authorities to achieve the commission's ends when FTC authorities under U.S. law have not supported commission's desired outcomes. Chairman Khan has spearheaded partisan efforts to remodel U.S. antitrust authorities and the images of European laws designed to hurt U.S. companies' abilities to compete in foreign markets. Chairman Khan has orchestrated wholesale changes in FTC rulemaking practices and policies, enabling extreme commission to overreach the expense of consumers, regulated businesses like mine, or unregulated businesses, I'm going to say, and the public in general. Chairman Khan has permitted the White House to use the commission as a shield for Biden-Harris 2024 election interest through commission leadership of the sham Biden-Harris strike force on unfair and illegal pricing. I need to look at that. Strike force. I need an analyst, actually. If you guys are listening to this, I need a young analyst that can tear through a bunch of material. If you dig doing that kind of thing, reach out to me. You can read the full report there. So that's the summary. I mean, quite frankly, I'm dying to read the whole thing to you because it's so bad, but it will bore you to death. I think we got the general gist of it. This guy eviscerated the FTC. Okay, now this is the very organization, just for clarity, because people will think that I'm where the hell is this thing now? Just for clarity, now I had a run-in with the FTC in 2019 or 18. I think they sent us a letter. That letter would lead to inquiry on the company Chargebacks 911. And running that, I could never get a meeting with Khan. She wouldn't meet me, ever. Wouldn't meet my partner, then my ex-wife. They went out of their way to drag out, I think it was 2 years and 6 months before they told us. They just kept asking us questions and questions. Now, keep in mind, this company, Chargebacks 911, serves merchants. It does not serve consumers. Now, Federal Trade Commission regulates the consumer business, banks that sell to consumers, any merchants that sell to consumers. But I was a document processor, just like DocuSign, and providing this function on chargebacks, very complicated field, unnecessarily so. Actually, it's quite necessary for the card schemes. And this, what's happened here is these weaponized third-party agencies or three-letter agencies are literally, it's pay for play, right? So they'll go into Facebook, get all their information. They allow them to keep doing what they're doing. Any business they don't like, they'll hammer them. Any business that doesn't participate, they'll use the European laws. This lady is, I mean, I should go back into the report because it literally talks about them changing the way they understand the markets. I mean, it's a damning report. I don't know why I couldn't find the original. Let's see. Man, is this guy like, what happened to him? I'm going to find this, okay? But like, what happened to this cat? In fact, I'm going to go through X a little bit because I want to show you some of the comments that got me to do this space this morning. By the way, I have met these people. I've spent time with them. That's Anna's husband. I love these guys. They are really awesome people. This is what I'm voting for, by the way, okay? It's all I care about. However, I care about my voice and your voice. So you guys got to get your camera on. You got to turn your microphones on. You got to come on these spaces, ask questions, like people, support people, send them $3, send them $10, subscribe to their space. You guys have to do this, okay? They cannot kill all of us. If Kamala Harris gets in office, you will not have social media. Okay, like if you do have social media, it's going to be so highly constrained that it will be staggering. Okay, like I'm not sure I would invest any money here. It's really hard to think about doing business in a place where you don't know what the rules are. You don't know what the rules are, and they start attacking you if they don't like your politics. Like I'm never going to attack anybody if they voted for Kamala Harris or Biden or whoever. Like, let's get over it, okay? President's the president. Let's support him. Let's run the deal. I cannot possibly have Kamala Harris as president or whoever's running her. Can't do it. Can't have the FTC in here. Not like this lady needs to go, okay? Khan needs to go. The part I didn't show you, I have to find this actually. Let me just go search it like a man. FTC Commission investigation. There we go. All right. Oversight Committee. Is this the long one? Yeah, here we go. All right. Okay. Y'all can see this? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Shit, man. So many. Can you see it? You can see it. All right. Now you can see it, right? That's right. All right. We got 1,500 people. Only 400 people left for me taking so long. I will not watch. Randall Dance. Thank you for being here. And good for you, dude. Cuban's a punk. KY Hoddle. Thank you. Aiden, good to be here, buddy. Thank you. Aries 777. I'm an Aries also. Nilo and Ricardo. You guys are the bomberama. Check this story out. I'm going to just go grab. This is a 54-page document, I think. Yeah. Oh, wow. Gary's memory isn't as bad as my kids say it is. All right. This is crazy, man. We read all this. Following Commissioner Wilson's stunning revelations, the Committee on Oversight and Accountability launched an investigation into Chair Khan's administration of the FTC. So on February the 24th, okay, Christine Wilson, I'm trying to get a meeting with this lady in an interview. I want to say, I have not met her. Wow. My hat is off to you, ma'am. Okay. It was so easy when you're in a group of people and they go sour or they go lemony or evil. It's so easy to get sucked into the deal that you resisted and in fact fought back. Check this out. This is true American champion right now. I need you and everybody you know doing this kind of stuff, okay? Stand up like a man like I did to that punk that came in here trying to spread a bunch of bullshit. February 14th, 2023, Commissioner Christine A. Wilson announced her resignation from the FTC in protest to Chairman Khan's abuse of the agency. In prominent Wall Street Journal op-ed, Commissioner Wilson wrote that Chair Khan's disregard for the rule of law and due process make it impossible for me to continue serving. As she explained, I have failed repeatedly to persuade Miss Khan, and her enablers to do the right thing, and I refuse to give the endeavor any further hint of legitimacy by remaining. Accordingly, I will soon resign from the FTC. Following that, an investigation pursued. The committee has issued numerous oversight letters to the commission requesting relevant documents. It was surveyed voluminous reporting of former commissioner officials, expert commentators, blah, blah, blah. The committee can find only one conclusion. Former Commissioner Wilson was right. Khan has abused her authority at the agency, trampling on due process rights of regulated parties, upending the rule of law, and violating ethics standards she is bound to uphold. The committee has found Khan has consistently betrayed her obligation to ensure the commission adheres to the independent role. Khan has subordinated the agency to the political will and direction and leftist ideology of Biden administrations, its allies, Congress, and active entities. Wow. So damning. So damning. Finally, the committee has found that Chairman Khan has resorted to means outside the FTC legal mandate to realize her desired ends, including through collusion with foreign regulatory regimes. That's treason, isn't it? Isn't that treason? So this is a senior standing member of the U.S. government, FTC, the head. I mean, are all of you fucking people behaving this way at the heads of every intelligence and operating? How many agencies are like this? FTC, NSA, SEC. I mean, I bet they go on forever. FDA. Are you all corrupt? Key findings: trampled due process, trampled respect for law, trampled ethical standards, not independent, attempting to reshape American antitrust and competition policy, swept aside principles, practices, and policies of merger review, ones that have served pro-consumers and pro-competitive interests for decades. I think they've been failing for decades to do a good job. This has been a slippery slope for 3-4 decades. It's a joke of an administration, actually, of a department. Chair Khan's watch, the FTC has turned on American companies. Totally. You're stifling innovation with a lack of consistency, a lack of policy application, a lack of law application. You have one set of rules for one group of people that you apply, and you have another set of rules that you apply for your buddies. And basically, you're picking winners and choosers. Khan has permitted the White House to use the commission as a shield, has sidelined career FTC. Check this out. She has sidelined career FTC staff, collapsed morale, triggered an exodus of critical employees, and destroyed career staff confidence in the honesty and integrity of commission leadership. I hired an ex one of these people, and I can tell you, I wish I'd never have hired her. Okay, she's part of the problem. Miss Wilson, you on the other hand just walked, dude. I think that's awesome. The FTC's norm-wrecking maladministration of its merger authorities and international activities under Chairman Khan. It talks about competitive mergers here as following troubled path. She abandoned the commission's responsibility to protect Americans from anti-competitive mergers while allowing pro-competitive and hence pro-consumer mergers to proceed. In its path, the commission has sought to enlist foreign antitrust authorities to frustrate mergers of American companies, and when the commission under American law could not, and or advance the imposition of European over American antitrust policies. Executive Order 14036, promoting competition in the American economy. The order was issued immediately after the Senate confirmed Chair Khan and President Biden elevated her to the commission. The EO, Executive Order 14036. The roots of this shift, let's just back up here a little bit. With respect to mergers, the commission under Khan has run roughshod over the process and the rule of law and has disregarded ethical requirements. Executive Order 14036, promoting competition in the American economy. Now, this was done right after Biden came into office. She's appointed to the head, whole of government competition, including White House Competition Council. In his remarks announcing the order, Biden rejected the consumer welfare-centered approach that has galvanized 4 decades of partisan consensus over how best to administer the antitrust laws. Creating a radical new course, marshaling the whole government effort, executive independent agency. Why wouldn't they just leave business alone? See, supply and demand. Stay out of business, government. And we don't need you in business. We don't need any business people. We don't need any non-business people telling the business people what they're supposed to do. Okay? I have never met anybody in the FTC or any of these other organizations that actually have any experience. They are freaking spectators in the baseball game, looking from the sidelines. They don't even have the guts to get on the field like a referee or an umpire. They do it from way above, okay? And no one knows who they are. You can't figure out who you can't figure out who the reporting mechanism, and furthermore, getting to them and actually getting a meeting to resolve things is near impossible. And extremely expensive. It's the weapon. They use it as a weapon. They know it. They know their red tape is the weapon against business, and it is the death. It is the death of innovation and brilliance in America. Brilliant Americans will just leave. We don't need to be here. I love being here, but we don't need to be here. So let's see. Biden picked Professor Tim Wu, a primary advocate of the view and key ally to Khan, to serve on the National Economic Council as special assistant to the president for technology and competition policy, help draft it. Now, what they do is they put all their buddies in key positions, and then it pretty much has the game sewed up. Khan shares and support these Biden-Harris White House views. Look, I don't think the anti-competition part's well, it's probably is very, very important. But right now, I want to show you how evil, evil this group is, how intrusive the U.S. government has come into your business, okay, into everyone's business. This is outrageous that we have a world where we have a world where, you know, I don't know on any one day what the rules are. I can't possibly make investments like this. Okay. I can't possibly, deploy like what's in it for me to go hire and build companies if I'm constantly going to be worried, looking over my back with shit like this. This is not the America that's, you know, brought that's brought robustness and innovation to this free entire planet, man. Entire planet. All right, let me continue. I could continue, but I keep popping off this page. The commission also struck from its agency mission statement the commitment. Look at this, man. That it would enforce its laws without unduly burdening legitimate businesses. Wow. Okay. The new guidelines significantly expanded the numbers of mergers that could be considered presumptively problematic by the commission. This was the Microsoft Activision thing that the SEC lost and the FTC lost. Okay. Remember? You guys remember? So they blocked that. I didn't have a clue why they were blocking that. It would have been great for Activision. The commission also struck from its agency mission statement the commitment that it would enforce its laws without unduly burdening legitimate businesses. That means if you have a business in the neighborhood, consider your front door knocked down and all the files in your home. They will be reviewed by whoever wants to review them. We have lost all freedom and all rights. Okay. You might as well not have a lock on your fucking door. Doesn't make any sense anymore. If you're not going to lock up the borders, then I beg you, if you believe in this immigration policy anywhere in the world, please unlock your door, leave it open, and take your panties off when you go to bed, because you will be absolutely hammered at some point, and it will end up very, 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 very bad for you. And I'm sure you'll have some emotional issues over it. The commission warned that the parties would, if they dared, complete their mergers at their own risk, even after the passage of those deadlines. None of these actions. Wow, man. A former commissioner will report the commission has also began to issue pre-merger consummation warning letters to merging parties, warning that the commission would continue to investigate the mergers with all the uncertainty that entails, even after statutory deadlines for the commission to complete its reviews had passed. This is organized crime now, okay? This is basically saying we don't even care if you're going to win. We're going to keep hammering you. This is outrageous. A whole group of people should be fired here, okay? This is treason, man. We are paying these people. The commission and the Department of Justice in June 2023 proposed changes to the former merging parties must submit to them the kickoff of the Hart-Scott-Rodino review process. The proposed changes would vastly expand paperwork and disclosure requirements for parties to propose mergers. Wow. The commission also has pursued more administrative litigation. I was one of them, which the commission also almost always wins and can only be challenged by courts of appeal. See, this was the problem. I would have had to spend $7 million over $100,000 fine to appeal it. I was not wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. The company now has a class action against it by 2 or 3 customers we never even touched. We didn't touch their credit card. We didn't take a payment from them. This all came because of this case. Okay. Literally, they almost always win. And the reason is literally I would have had to spend another 7 to 10 million, spending another 3 to 4 years to get the $100,000 penalty erased. Under no circumstances with that 100 grand. I spent $7 million to defend a $100,000 fine. Okay. You should be terrified that can happen. That the U.S. government has an investigative body, which is really a regulatory body, not an investigative, hey, let's go look for shit. You have a regulatory body that's now filing against a company that is not regulated by the FTC. It doesn't serve any consumers that the FTC is supposed to take care of. It's not even a merchant, right? It does nothing other than documentation on chargeback ratios and numbers. Irrespective of what they say we did, when after 5 years of such egregious activity, they can only come up with $100,000 fine. That would be like the king sending out a great hunter, Robin Hood, to collect some gold, somebody to go out and collect. And he spends $1 million of gold coins, and the guy brings back a deer. Okay, like you're probably going to want to look at this whole administration as a cost benefit analysis. Elon and Howard, you might want to just start here in the SEC because they clearly are overstaffed, under IQ'd and overstaffed with a bunch of criminals. Lena Khan. Chairman Khan seems committed to using all the commission's powers to throw sand into all the possible gears of proposed mergers, thereby halting many mergers by abuse of process and chilling other potential mergers from even being suggested. Bilal Sayed, former director of the Commission's Office of Policy Planning, suggested early on in Khan's tenure, uncertainty has become the crux of the Commission's merger policy, uncertainty and delay. Others have trenchantly termed this as interim effect, to chill merger activity. Interim effect, to chill merger activity. They're influencing, engaging, and meddling in a marketplace. They are literally intervening on supply and demand, how it wants to work, whether it's money, capital, stock, mergers, whatever, right? They are interfering with supply and demand. We will see an administration over the last 8 to 12 years, probably 20, that has consistently intervened in the marketplace in the world, and it is causing massive, massive impacts. That is the only thing that's causing inflation on this planet, is government intervention. I've been saying it for a long time. I will continue to say it. Government intervention is the only inflation that's actually the real inflation that's driving problematic pricing to Joe consumer of the world. It is literally this type of behavior. FTC Commissioner Noah Phillips has characterized the cumulative force of the merger policy changes under Khan as a tax on all mergers and acquisition. As often been observed, the more you tax something, the less of you get. Thus, former Commissioner Phillips observed the FTC is broadcasting hostility to M&A. That is positive branding effect for enforcers and may also have a deterrent effect for and on M&A. This allows the commission to sow uncertainty and run up costs of getting deals done, taxing basically. This is such a damning report. I'm not going to bother to read the whole thing. Meanwhile, the courts have responded to Chair Khan's disrespect for rule of law. Handling cons losses in multiple key cases. It is brought in court to challenge mergers. The most stinging may be the commission's loss in the marquee cases, the one I was talking about, against Meta and Microsoft over their respective attempts to merge within an Activision deal. The commission lost resoundingly in each of these cases. Each case sought to break fresh ground, favoring challenges of Chaircom promotes in the merger issue. One other thing I want to read. Oh, check this out. And this gets really, really interesting. You guys still in this with me? You cool? Is this helpful? Hopefully it's helpful. It's good for me. So several high-ranking ranking officials in the Biden administration, as well as their allies in Congress, have taken actions to modeling the American economy and role of government after the European example. Secretary Yellen, Treasury Secretary, has helped author and advocate an agreement for the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development global minimum tax. Congress has rejected the agreement, but Biden administration has tried to use it as leverage to raise corporate taxes, permit foreign nations to tax the equivalent on U.S. multinational companies. Another telling example, the Commerce Department has sought to emulate European export controls for firearms. Blah, blah. The SEC also sits on the International Organization of Securities Commissions. Bias. See, all this has to get redone for the digital world. None of this is going to survive. They all thought we were going to be one happy family, one globalized market, and they fucked it up. And now they have no plan, so they're just grabbing everything they can. Let's see. The European Commission, EC, is enabled to designate companies as gatekeepers under the DMA. The DMA is the Digital Markets Act. The European Commission designate these as gatekeepers, allowing further regulation. To date, 6 companies have been designated gatekeepers. Of the 6 companies, 5 are American: Alpha, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft. As discussed below, the FTC followed the DMA closely and even sent staff to Europe to oversee its implementation. That's right. We're sending people now over to the European Union, paying them to stay in 5-star, 4-star hotels, drinking like crazy people with the Europeans, and yielding and building and bringing back policy that's so socialist, it's disgusting. The EU Digital Markets Act itself went into force May the 2nd, 2023. No Americans paid any attention to it. And in full effect, March 7th of this year, it has proven to be detrimental to U.S. tech companies. On March 25th, the EU announced that Google, Meta, and Apple were being investigated for possible breaches under this law itself. On June 24th, this is 5 months later, okay, Apple became the first company charged under the DMA. So June the 24th, the law was put into place March, and June the 24th, Apple is put under charged under the DMA. Apple is currently delaying a software update that includes AI for iPhone users in the EU due to the regulatory uncertainty. Don't blame me, dude. Then on July 1 this same year, EU accused the Meta of unfair practices. By the way, I'm not suggesting that they're not right, okay? But you can't have laws all over the world changing and intervening. Like, we need a digital global market, and you can't have the Europeans and the Americans writing it. Most certainly, you cannot have the intelligence agencies setting up the constructs, the commercial constructs, and sharing information and how we operate and cooperate and communicate across this planet. Okay, you cannot possibly have the 3-letter agencies doing this. You can't. Damn it. Look, this is so heinous. I could just keep. I could bring this up all day long. Okay, this is horrible. If you know, I would most certainly become I think I would, if I was younger, I must say, reading this, I would become a politician. I would move full force into politics. I would. I think I mean, it'd be a scary ocean to jump into because it's just so foul. But what if you're 22 years old, man, I just don't see any downside. I think if you're 42, quite frankly, if you're 42, you could probably go into local politics pretty quick and then move up the food chain within 4 or 5 years if you have a voice. I mean, I have enough of a voice. I just don't want to do it. I'm also fairly practical. All right, I know I just need to think with some of that. I'm going to go through some of these thoughts. I mean, some of these comments here. Appreciate you guys all being here. I'm angry. Okay, I'm angry and I'm scared. I'm more scared's not the right word. Troubled, man. I'm troubled. Okay, like for sure, I'm not going to be investing. I won't build any companies. Fuck that, dude. You don't see in an environment that's so heavily regulated like this, you don't invest in anything but Bitcoin. And the reason is they can't lock you down. I mean, you have no employees. You don't have a house or a building to sell. I mean, you know, what they should make this, they should be giving me support and help to build companies, not scare the fuck out of me and terrorize me. They literally call it terror. I'm going to go through some of these reports. First off, do a little survey if you would. How many people knew that this happened 5 days ago? I'd love to know. This is a big deal, okay? This is the Biden administration, the Obama administration, the Clinton administration. Last time we had real deregulation in this country was in 1985, 1981 with Ronald Reagan. And it's been downhill ever since. The big companies have gotten bigger, not smaller. And the big companies that got bigger, got super bigger. They've become intelligence operations. I don't want to go and find another example because I'm not good at this. I really do need somebody to help me with posting this shit on a screen. But I'll tell you something. When Mark Zuckerberg admits to betraying all his shareholders, all the people that have ever used his Facebook thing, all the people who've ever shared any information with Mark Zuckerberg, anyone that ever took the vaccine or had shit put up their nose or, you know, quit a job, left a job, got a jab because they wouldn't quit the job because of what they heard from Mark Zuckerberg, twisting reality about COVID when he knew. And if you voted 4 years ago and, you know, you voted based on what you were seeing and realized now today you were lied to, distorted to, twisted, manipulated, constrained from all the data. You know, if you pull half the data away from humanity, is that a crime? If I give you, you know, 2 cups of bullshit, 1/2 a cup of what should be 4 cups, but I knock that down to 1/2 a cup of good shit, and then I sprinkle it with some, you know, bullshit, and then I pound it into the media world. I'm going to influence people. Okay, I'm going to influence because I'm a liar. I'm a marketer. I'm a promoter. Doesn't make good sense. And I cannot tell you how many people laughed at me for giving 12 Bitcoin to Trump. What do you think they're giving to Kamala right now? They're outspending us by 3 to 1, dude. Okay, they have an infinite amount of money so they don't go to prison. People that behave this way, look, I've had people attack me. I mean, I could tell you a story that would probably make a great book, but I was in a fight for 5 years of my life over something that is the most, anyway, like I would have died over this, okay? When people go evil, they go evil. We've been doing this 40 years now, man. What do you think? They're going to get less evil? Think about this, okay? I don't care who you're voting for, but I don't care if you don't like somebody's hair. I don't think Kamala is an attractive woman, but I don't care. She has no policy. In fact, I don't even care about anyone's policy other than get out of the way, government. Get out of the way. The first cuts we need to do is on you. Like I could easily see 60% cut in the U.S. government, okay? You just go in there and whack all the Social Security numbers that are odd. Fucking whack them, dude. What's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to function less poorly? No chance. No chance. Let's start at the top. I want to say thank you to everyone that's here on Saturday. It's beautiful out here in Tierra Verde. First few people in the room. Thank you guys for being here. Blue collar, good to have you here. It's perfect, bro. Hear you just fine. Oh, yeah. I can't help but think there would be regulatory difference. Come on now. There would be a big difference. People have asked me, hey, what job would you want? I'd most certainly be happy to go into regulatory. I would love that. I've actually helped very actively 3 different regulatory bodies actually transform the way energy operated in their continent. You don't have to be a lobbyist to do this. You can be a smart commercial guy that, hey, let's just make it simple. These regulations are too complex. The FTC, the very institution that claims that the core principle for the consumer is that the rules and the terms between buyer and seller are clear and concise, yet you can't get clear and concise from any regulated body or government entity, including the FTC or the SEC. There is no clear and concise when it comes down from the top, from the government. Yet they require everyone, and this is the heinous part. If Blue Collar wants to sell a lawnmower online, he has to be clear and concise in his terms and conditions. The very platform that he uses to sell that lawnmower online, the terms and conditions, I dare anyone here of the 2,000 people, not one of you have read the terms and conditions of your Google agreement that you just re-signed for the 16th time, 3 months ago. Not one of you have read it. Not one of you have read it. You don't know what it means. You don't know the implications. You don't know how much you've given away. You haven't read your bank agreement when you create a checking account or a savings account or a money market account. You haven't read any of that. And you've been abused, okay? Because nobody's been reading it for 20 years. And we make the fine print more and more and more difficult to read. Why? Why is it there are 52 million merchants on planet Earth? There's clearly now a global internet market, and 52 million merchants all have different terms and conditions. Why does Visa and MasterCard, who serve basically a market of consumers who only really understand a transaction is whether it's an airline transaction or whether it's a hotel transaction or whether it's a grocery receipt transaction, Why does it matter with all these different codes? And do you think the consumer, when they go shopping at Amazon, think that their rights are different at Amazon than they are at XYZ company? Or that American Express, why do they have different complete rule set than, say, Visa and MasterCard? I appreciate they're public companies, but in particular, Visa and MasterCard do not operate like a public company. They will take instruction from the U.S. government. By the way, think about this. You think that Zucky, who admitted to committing high crimes with the U.S. government, I do believe that's a high crime. Most certainly shareholder gross negligence and gross lack of reporting. If you think Zuckerberg did that, you don't think Visa, MasterCard are involved in monitoring? You? Okay. I mean, this guy admits to squirreling the voting data last year. This guy admits to pushing vaccine data not in a fair way. Altered the flow of actual data. Altered the flow of actual data to humanity. He has a platform of billions of people. He is a utility, my folks. And all you lawyers disagreement, that is a utility. Okay, it's ridiculous that it's not a utility. It should be treated like a utility. They can make a reasonable, tiny little margin for the low-risk business they have, but most certainly they should not be able to charge 33% Google for using a platform, taking no responsibility for what any of the data that's provided on that platform. You have no liability for lies or checking for lies. You clearly are now operating with the U.S. government, so we don't really know what your main driver is. Is it public shareholder returns? Is it do no evil alphabet? That was your core song when you entered the world stage. Facebook, is it? Let's just tell me what your business model is. Is it stealing data from people? Is it knowing that they're all going to vote for Trump and that's why you came out? Or is it that you guys, are a total monopoly? Nobody has any choice. You did the, hey, there's free cheese in every rat trap. You guys come on in and get some free cheese. And now, not unlike the Coke dealer, you fucking stuck everybody on dopamine hits by the microsecond, micro minute, micro hour. You knew it. You duped everyone. You've fucking lowered their IQ so substantially. You've got them totally addicted now. There's no need for cocaine, dude. You've got them totally addicted to speed, convenience. Got to have it right this second. I need a hit. I need somebody to like me. Oh, please like me. Oh gosh, I almost didn't go on screen today because I don't look perfect. Can't you build an AI generator that makes me look perfect so all of you feel so inferior? It's bullshit, dude. Okay? It pisses me off so much that we have allowed this freaking our nation. Like, we can blame Khan. Look, somebody let Khan walk up the whole fucking food chain since she was 8 years old. She's been like this, and you let her in. Okay, you didn't knock her out because y'all turned into little babies, man. There's a whole group of these people. Okay, they need to be absolutely knocked out. If you guys don't go vote, please stop following my ass. Okay, I don't know why you're here. Okay, you're just bored to death because you should go vote, and then if you're not doing this, I'm gonna issue a high crime to you that you're not talking to somebody about this shit. Then get in your car and go to a neighbor and drive them to the voting thing, man. It's disappointing. It is. It is. You know, it's so interesting to see them freaking out because of this of these platforms, and really, this is why I'm doing this because one, it's available. It's really available, and it's really, really, really effective. Now that we have someone that's not, uh, fucking with it, I don't. I have so far I've not been messed with, which kind of surprised me. Um, I promise you, I'm not trying to be inflammatory. I am not. I do not think there is a lot of value in being inflammatory, drama boosting, dopamine hitting. These punks that do this, what's it called? Engagement farming. If that's the best way for you to make a living, then you've already lost the game, man. You're gonna die. Unhappy old guy, unhappy person. I don't want to do that. Wish filters were banned. I agree, man. Like I would just open it all up, dude. I want to see kids getting blown up in Egypt. Okay, I want to see people dying in Israel. If there's all these wars, why can't I see the pictures? I want to see the pictures. I want to see the pictures. I want people to get disgusted with what's happening. See, not seeing 13 or 130 or 500 kids killed every day, maimed, legs blown off. You wonder why we're going to have terror for the next 50 to 100 years? Because you're killing people and maiming them, and they're remembering it, dude. They're 2 years old, and they're remembering this shit. And then they're telling their kids, and their kids are telling their kids. And about, a century later, you wonder why they come over here and fuck with us. One, you open your damn doors, and then you keep bombing people. Dominion voting machine scam is an issue here. Not sure where you are, Chris. Good to have you here. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I'm hearing weird things going on, but we'll see. I mean, do you guys think how close do you guys think the vote is right now? I'm hearing people say it's like she's going to win. Got Amber here saying selected data not balanced. Prometheus, Zucky is a high-level criminal and gross negligence of shareholder duties worthy of imprisonment. I don't know that that's an imprisonment, but yeah, I agree with you, man. Regulatory bloat is real. Gary, make for great secretary. I don't know about that, but what do you guys think? I hope that this has been helpful today. Okay. This FTC thing that no one's talking about now. Now, I could spend another 30 minutes going over the one with the SEC. The SEC was found, 4 times, filed by Coinbase. Try and do this off memory. I mean, hell, the only case SEC hasn't surrendered on so far is the Ripple case, right? So they got fucking rammed by Coinbase. There's 3 or 4 lawsuits against them right now. Gary Gensler is most certainly an operative. Lena Khan, you're an operative, okay? You're an agent. You're not a neutral regulatory person. You failed in being an American. You have failed and betrayed America, and you failed being a regulator of what the original intention was. You do belong to the cartel. You do. You do belong to the cartel. You're part of the club. I don't trust you. I will never trust you. And I don't trust most of the people that work for you, including Sam Levine, okay? You guys are monsters. You're fucking monsters. You're draconian enforcement authorities. You're like a cop who's got a gun on his hip, and you're just looking for something to shoot. You pick winners and losers. It's heinous. If you had to operate in the real world, you wouldn't last 12 days. Okay, not 12 days. I can tell you, Gary, goes back to Cain and Abel. If you haven't read the book on Cain and Abel, you should. Does this oversight committee actually have any power to change anything? Dude, are you kidding me? they start sending you letters. You have to start hiring lawyers. There's nothing else you can do. Hey, that doesn't affect me. They'll send you another letter and another letter and another letter. This is the U.S. government you're fucking with, dude. Like, as soon as the letter comes, it starts off with $800 an hour because you got to go hire your local gym lawyer just to go, hey, what the do I need to do? Then you go hire another big lawyer. You go from 800 to about 1,200 real quick. Then you realize the $1,200 lawyer is out of his depths. Then you go hire a $1,700 lawyer. Then the $1,700 lawyer leaves his firm top 10 and goes to top 3. And then that firm, you know the rest of the story. And it's never ending until you just go, okay. And this is why people end up surrendering, the small ones. If you're very interested and you think I'm crazy, go Google DOJ. Oh, let's throw the DOJ into this little bag of shit right now too, okay? I was told during the FTC investigation that's now ended, over, done, settled. I gave them $100,000 to fucking go away. Fuck off. I mean, literally, I paid them to leave, okay? Like, I participated. I should have fought them. I should have fought them to the end. I actually wanted to go to court, but I was in the middle of a fucking divorce, some of which was actually encouraged by this lawsuit. I'm not saying that that's the reason. It would have folded up anyway, but it really, when this showed up, it accelerated it. My idiot partner, she filed for divorce after this. And after we knew this, I'm like, dude, like I know we're not going to make it, but you don't file a egregious divorce and start fighting with your partner when the FTC's filed a suit against you. Like, you need to cooperate. Anyway, that will prove to be an expensive lesson for her to learn. The lesson I have to learn is don't ever go in business with your family. That cost me $200 million probably. And this whole FTC thing literally cost me $200 million. And just, and I didn't do anything wrong. I don't need to do anything wrong to be in business. Most certainly, if I was going to do anything wrong, it wouldn't be now. It would have been a long time ago. And I had zero red flags on my name. Zero. Okay. 10 companies, one's public, exits all over the place, partnerships with people, no one bitching, no debt, no bankruptcies, some speeding tickets, bad driver. Nothing, man. Nothing. I was involved right up to my eyeballs in the whole Enron thing, competing with Enron during the whole Arthur Anderson deal. Not a blemish, okay? And then these fucks come after, cost $7 million. It's not the $7 million, actually. It's the unjust and unfair nature of it. And it is happening all over the place. And the scary thing is, the big companies, they dig this. They like it. Their stock price never goes down. Look at it. JP Morgan gets a fine for moving XYZ people. Let's say they're under 18, or they're found supporting a drug running campaign. Unbelievable, dude. They pay a $3 billion fine. Nobody goes to jail, and they keep operating. Like, if you're going to have a fine that big, why don't you stop them from doing business? Like, if I'm doing something wrong, shut me down, man. Don't let me pay the ticket and keep operating. That's outrageous. By the way, while Lisa or Lenny or Karen, Lena Khan, was busy chasing her $100,000 from Monica Eaton, Sam Altman-Fried was committing the largest financial crime and on U.S. consumers from a Bahamian offshore company. She was busy hanging out, grabbing 100 G's from me, and missed 100 billion. How much did this guy just absolutely fuck the entire financial system? And I actually think if you dig long enough and hard enough, you're going to find some people involved in the Biden administration, deeply involved with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. So if you start looking into this, we should start, if we have a regulator, a body of regulators, we should once a year ask them, hey, like, what are you doing? What did you accomplish this year? How much money did you spend this year? And what was the return? What is your metric? As a regulator, what is your metric? You can't keep changing the goalpost. Your goalpost was firstly to not unduly harm companies in attempting to protect consumers. Now you've removed that, right? That's a big remove. Who is overseeing these people? This is the stuff that we need Trump in for. Okay, we need Vivek there. We need JD Vance there. We need someone to come in, and this would be my proposal. That's why I need an analyst to write some of this stuff up. But my proposal to Mr. Trump would be go in there and give yourself 4 months to review all 430 regulatory divisions. If you can't, like they have 2 or 3 months to defend their position and their budget. And if they can't do it, like come April, you shut them down. There'll be 200 regulations and regulatory bodies we don't need anymore. So I think you could literally cut 60, 70% of the regulations around it, revise and clean them up. And then you need an office for, hey, let's go clean that up. Okay, let's remove that from the operating system. It no longer serves us. It's 2024 going on 2030. We don't need a rule that was made in 1922. Is it relevant? All right, guys, I'm going to go through these comments and then I'm going to go take a break. Thanks for sharing, Randy Albert. I bought MicroStrategy on Friday. I hope I don't regret that, but we will see. I love the market where it is right now. In my opinion, you may get, if you guys are going to make me talk about Bitcoin, I'll do it just for 1 second. But my opinion, you're going to get this week a opportunity to probably buy 10% discount on Bitcoin. It's worth every bit of 66 to 70. It's worth 75. It's worth 80 at some point in time. Most certainly, anything you can pick up in the 60s, I think it's steal. I think it's an absolute steal. The purchases I made Friday, I'm more comfortable about than any of the other purchases I made ever. Crazy, huh? Crazy, man. The purchases I made Friday, one was a miner. This is all Bitcoin, though, okay? Everything I'm doing is Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. This last little piece I'm playing with some, one, I can't buy Bitcoin with it. That's one problem. I'm trying to solve that right now. And then two, they're very Bitcoin-centric trades. I'm more comfortable with these trades than I was 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, or at $37,000. I just got through looking through some receipts and was like, wow, man, I forgot buying that $27,000 Bitcoin. If I went through it, you'd be shocked at the timetables and what we were thinking. And the funny thing is, I have video recordings of all of this stuff, me talking about it at 27. Because you got to remember, I'm not giving you advice. I am sharing how I look at doing things, whether it's investing or investing in people or, how I spend my time and my energy. I mean, I spent 5 or 6 hours last night from 7 to, this will give you probably more insight into at least me, not that people really care, but instead of going out and I dropped one of my children off. Instead of going out after 7, I drove home and I painted till 2 o'clock in the morning. Could have gone out and hung out with some people. The truth is, I actually at 2:00 in the morning, I was so satisfied. I painted a tremendous amount. I'm very, very close to finishing a very complicated piece. And why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? I got off track, but I think the reason I was saying is that, like, I'm just so comfortable with this trade. I'm really, really, and we're going to end here, but I'm really excited. In one hand, how much great things is going on this planet. Like, I think the AI thing is a big deal. I think our opportunity to be able to invest in Bitcoin and surrogates around Bitcoin, and also to delve into, there's a lot of very interesting people coming to Bitcoin that I would not want to not have around. Most certainly, it's important to me that I have access to these people. And by access, I mean, like, I will continue doing these pieces because I think this is an education piece. And I would actually lobby. Another area that I would go into for the government would be, hey, let's put me in the education. I get rid of the $80 billion tomorrow. Like, we will do all our education here. Do you know how much money we could pay every family to go to school? We could pay every family not to go to school. In fact, literally, we could pay every family to do something totally different, and it would be better. If I could do anything, it would be that. And I would probably stop doing everything else I've ever done in my life just to spend the next 10 years trying to fix the education. No, not trying to, fixing, absolutely slaughtering it. Okay. Like, I've always criticized the education system since I was a little kid. I'm not doing anymore. That's why I'm doing these things. I would love comments from you guys if I read too fast. Okay. Let me know that. That's really good feedback for me. But I think people seeing this kind of data, imagine that that letter not being allowed to be written. Okay, we have a policeman, an enforcer with the U.S. government who's completely out of control. And I take my hat off to Commissioner Christine Wilson for pushing back. You need to push back, okay? You didn't push back when this con lady was 8 or 12 or 16 or 19 when she was in the sorority, and you knew she was going to be evil then, dude. They're all the same people, okay? Same clubs, same people, same parties, same jeans, same fucking bookstores, same country clubs. You get 10,000 people like me that go, fuck the country clubs. Okay, you get 10,000 people like Elon Musk. We are in a revolution right now. And not to speak up right now, scream intelligently, rant with conviction and knowledge and fact. You don't need to rant screaming at anyone or cursing. Facts are facts. Verifications, receipts, bring receipts. Look, man, you're doing a show. Don't let people come in your show and talk shit without validation. First off, you might be liable. In the world we're going in, I would be greatly concerned about anything anyone said on my platform. So bring the fucking receipts or shut the fuck up. Now, if I do that to every one of you guys and you do it to me, don't we have the right to do that to the U.S. government, people that we pay, including the president, including the Fed, including the Treasury, including the FTC, including the SEC? No metrics, dude. You let a group of people run anything without any metrics, they'll steal you blind. You know why? Because it's going to be the easiest pathway for them, and they will rationalize it, and they'll have a motivator, and it all makes sense, and the whole club will be okay with it. And that's where we are. We are sick. We need to go into recovery. We're a complete junked out convenience nation. We have surrendered every one of our abilities and tools, the most precious things that we have literally surrendered, given away for a like and a clap and a thumbs up. It's terrifying that that we literally, as Americans, know nothing of quality, of value. Our value and quality are disconnected from the vocabulary of Americans. It is simply about what's the price. It's either I paid a shitload for it, ain't I cool, or it's so cheap everybody can buy it. And that means it's crap. It's poison. No value. TV, no value. Soap operas, no value. The episodes, very little value. Mainstream media, no value. Food, lower and lower and lower quality of food every year. I'm told that the nutritional quality coming out of California is nearly zero. The education quality, zero. Failed. U.S. military, fail. Our fertility rate, failing. Okay. This is an organism, by the way. If you don't produce at 2.4 children per family, this organism will not survive. You have a demographic cliff coming up here that no one's talking about. Guys like me who have all the cash, sorry, our spending is getting ready to just go, just drop, dude. To get crushed. Biggest money supply in the world that's spent, that drove consumption up off the freaking roof, has hit peak consumption. You will only see demand fall from here. Demand for anything and everything except something that holds infinite, perfect value. And I can only think of 2 or 3 things that hold perfect, infinite value. And it's images, memories, experiences with human beings, other human beings, and Bitcoin. I don't know what else to say. Okay, I think I'm going to end the show right there. It's either memories, images, my ability to have an experience with other people, like hopefully I'm doing today, and Bitcoin, or a surrogate of Bitcoin that doesn't get completely bastardized. I thank all you guys for being here. Every time I do one of these, it becomes a little easier, and I'm breaking through whatever weird ego thing. See, it's the same ego thing that I should have gone out last night. See, I'm driving down I should go in and be cool. Look at all those girls going in there. I'm like, what am I going to do in there, dude? See, thinking it out now. I think it out now. I'm just driving down the road, smoking a cigarette, my $250,000 fucking Range Rover. Stupid. And, working through loneliness, aloneness is really interesting. Because what's driving me there? It's some ego or aloneness. And I'm like, well, dude, I'm going to go there. First off, I'm probably going to be the oldest guy there. I don't want to be weird. Secondly, what am I going to do? Have 3 drinks, get smashed. I can't drink very well. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to paint. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to go home and paint. I came home, painted, had a great time, and enjoyed it more. So maybe I'm just having to learn how to be alone. I look at my daughters, I'm like, be alone for as long as you can be, dude. Be alone a lot. Well, guys, thank you very much. I see Prometheus in the room. Prometheus, you've been in the room. I'm happy to bring you up, buddy. What's up? How you doing, pal?
Hey, Gary. I'm well. Can you hear me?
Perfecto.
Yeah. No. Thank you for this excellent rant. I've just been just appreciating all the insane levels of like deregulation that's actually needed at this point. Elon Musk often refers to Gulliver's Travels. I don't know if you've read that as a kid, the story of Lilliputs, and how they've got all these tiny little wires by which they hold down a giant, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And
It's the story. It's the story of it's not the big dragon that gets you. It's the 10 million ants.
yep, exactly. And I actually really believe you'd make, I don't know if this would interest you, but I think you'd do a great job working at some level with this next Trump administration, whether that's, at the SEC level or something in finance or education. What you mentioned about all those kids, right, who would be paid to study, because now we've got all these tools. We've got online education, we've got homeschooling. I think this is a truly new era of governance that we're going to be coming into these next 4 years. And I think this is the time, if you want to see legacy level changes that you want to have implemented at a national level, considering you actually know Donald Trump, so does your brother, who's also awesome in his own way. Both of you guys have the potential now to really make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for that, man. I think we all have a role to play here, and whether you're listening, whether not everybody's going to be comfortable doing this. I mean, I have so much information that's an experience. It just took 40 or 50 years to get. But the people that aren't going to do this, listening, expanding the group, reposting, introducing people to these spaces, helping people get off the old world system. Like it's clear to me there's a tremendous amount of addiction.
Yep.
And addiction is like a lot of different things. The dopamine, the all the stuff that's going on in Hollywood. Why did that happen? Dude, it's the dopamine. Right?
Yep.
Really, if you go to the core, hey, because I dated some of those people, not those people, but and man, they just need, why is Mark Cuban doing what he's doing? This is exactly why I was scared to come here. I'm scared of the addictive nature of adulation from other human beings. Once that happens, it's very hard to turn that dopamine off. And they'll do anything for it, dude. And I think that's what's happened. They've done anything to stay relevant.
But in your case, I don't think that's your motivation for going into any of this, No,
but that's my point, though. That's what people are listening to, because you listen to the loudest mouths. But you have to look at, hey, what is the motivation here? That's why validation and verification of receipts is so important.
It absolutely is. And, considering how you were pointing out how the government has this ability now to put you under investigation for almost any, like whatever nonsensical reason. You mentioned the 7 million you had to spend for that pathetic 100K fine or whatever, just like to stop that. I think you would do an excellent job in many ways, because first of all, you understand the landscape. So that's a big deal. You've actually built companies in this space. You have an understanding of the technology that's involved, and especially bringing blockchain into governance. I think that would be a huge thing, Gary. Imagine you could track through Bitcoin or ADA or whatever other system, every dollar that's spent throughout, the health budget or the the military industrial complex. I'm not saying we can get to that straight away, but I think that effort needs to come online with the advent of these sorts of technologies. Like, I'm thinking in terms of solutions here, like how we can solve this problem rather than actually, just have it on repeat, despite all our best efforts to kind of highlight it to the wider public, right? So yeah, I think you'd actually do a really good job for that reason. One, the landscape. Two, you're good with people. You've got some really great experience, especially this past year work, like through hosting spaces. I've seen you mature as a host. You know, you're actually like really like, I enjoy coming into your rooms. I go out of my way to, you know, to often be there, just to listen in sometimes, you know, not even have to say anything. But you know, it's informative, it's interesting, it's funny. You build real relationships, and yeah, Gary, I just think, you know, if you went into some place like the SEC or the education or whatever, I think
they would be so terrified of me.
I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, they know I'm available, so I'll definitely do it. But we got to get there. We got to win. I'm concerned. You know, they're gonna cheat, dude. Well,
they're going to try and cheat. They're already trying to cheat. That, you know, we're already seeing voting machines, you know, like not accepting Donald Trump, you know, votes and all that. There's a contingency to that as well, which I'm not going to get into here because I know you're trying to close out the show. But, you know, there's a military branch that's working with Donald Trump. There's a reason why he always says he's gone to Washington 17 times. Notice he said that on Joe Rogan's show as well. The letter 17. So there's more going on than meets the eye, for sure. This time they're aware.
Hey, thanks for showing up tonight, buddy. Appreciate it for today. See you later. I'll be holding church tomorrow, so I know you like that.
I will be there, Gary. I love church.
Cordone church, man. Church with Cordone. See you later, buddy. Ciao.
Cordone. Bye. Ciao.
Guys, I want to say again, thank you for joining. Hopefully my rant was fairly cohesive and coherent. I do know, well, I called it a rant. See, when you call it a rant, you get to be kind of ranty without being granty. Oh, shit. Have faith, Gary, from who's this here? I don't know what the name is, but have faith, my man. I do have faith. Okay, I have faith. I do have faith. I have been not sure I could describe my faith, but I most certainly have faith. Randy, thank you for being here. Aries77, thanks for being here. Sean, thank you for being here. Sean's the one that gave me the comment about having my back. Nilo, Aries777, you guys are freaking awesome. Who else came here? Life is great. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Beach Ton Daisy. Something like that. Man, that made me think of a girl I dated once on a beach. Whoo, doggy. A chick about made me go blind. Let's see. Great stream today, Gary. Discussion and discussion chat. Thank you, Nilo. Now, we need more comments from people, okay? I do like the comments, I must say. Lori Del Ringo, thank you very much, Lori, for being here. Sherry Snow Powders, you're awesome, kitty cat. We got TV Amber Knoxville. Some of you guys have some tough names, man. Make it tough on a host. I guess when you were coming up with your name, you didn't really think about, yeah, Joe. Fucking raise the close. Joe, I don't know, bro. I'm scared. Bitcoin pump's much harder under Trump win than under Kamala win. Much harder. I'd give the pump on Bitcoin a good 20% over a Harris win. Not sure what that means, but just pulling it out of my ass. Okay, guys, I'm in the stream. See you guys later. Love you lots. Thank you very much. You guys have to do one thing today, and only one thing, except, well, maybe two things. Write a letter to your congressman about how evil the FTC is. At least investigate this bitch, okay? And Christine Wilson, you're an awesome human being. Anybody investigating this group or any other draconian, off the rails, off policy, government weaponized enforcement authority pretending to be a three-letter agency protecting human Americans, stop fucking with us, okay? Stop it. Knock it off. That's not being American. You are a Marxist, socialist, communist pig, and we need to start calling you out. BTC will hit 100K. Most certainly it will. Question is time period, but I'm with you, dude. I think we're all getting ready to get rich. I just want to get rich and have the same amount of freedom I had yesterday. I want to have the same amount of freedom I had yesterday. I want to be able to do exactly what I'm doing right here. And you can't come into my house without a warrant. Stop messing with innovation. If you mess with innovation, it will go to another country. This is no longer the America of the 20th century. It is going to be America in the 21st century where you compete with the rest of the free world. And it's going to be awesome for Americans because you know what? America does better when it's competing and it has a monster goal. We could change all of this in 4 years if we had a big enough motivation and desire to work together with each other and just call all these fat cats out, dude. They're not helping us. I'm getting all the help I need because I'm a smart little guy. I'll wiggle around everything. Most of you guys clearly do not have the same traction. And I'm telling you that I wouldn't want to be 28 and not notice what's going on because I think you're going to have to make some really quick, fast, good moves or you're going to get buried in what used to be called middle America will become populous poor. How's that? Middle America becomes populous poor. And that is exactly what we will get with whoever's running Kamala Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, November the 2nd, 2024. Thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend. See you on the other side.